Hi, welcome to Fit in the Kitchen with Chef Leron, and
Coach Robin.
we're here in the Stern Family Teaching Kitchen in the Blaise Bernstein School of Culinary Arts in the Mirage JCC. And today we're going to talk a little bit about fats. So, what is one of everyone's favorite foods? French fries. I love French fries. So one of the things that we're going to do first is we're going to show you an easy way to cook them a little bit healthier. That way you don't have to feel bad about eating them. So before Coach Robin starts talking a little bit about the fats, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I'm doing. So I did 3 kinds of French fries. We have here regular russet potatoes. They're not cooked yet. We have sweet potatoes. And the next one that I'm going to put in the air fryer is taro. All right, so we have our taro and it's all cut up pretty evenly. And I'm going to take a bowl, and you only want to put a little bit in at a time, enough to cover one layer in the air fryer. It's really important that it doesn't overlap in the air fryer. You want it to be single layer. So I'm going to put some in a bowl here, and this was about 4 taro roots. And we're going to use the regular olive oil. All right, we're going to talk about the oils in a little bit. And I'm pouring a little bit, and I'm going to toss it. And I just want to see that it's enough to coat all of the taro. I don't want any excess oil. I just want it enough to coat it. So that's enough. And I'm going to open my preheated air fryer. I'm going to pour those in and make sure they're all single layered in here. And I'm going to put it in, and we're going to fry that at 375 for about 15 minutes. So while we talk about the rest of it, we're going to let this cook, and we're going to come back to these after that. Right? So Coach Robin is going to talk to us about a nice vegan cheese dip that we can make to dip our fries in, and also a little bit about the fats that we're using. Go ahead.
Hi guys. So why are we even using an air fryer to begin with? Why not just have it the traditional way that we usually have French fried, which is deep fried? So actually, a lot of the vegetable oils out there are highly inflammatory. So if you're struggling with losing weight, one thing you can focus on right now today is read all the ingredient labels to the things that you eat and make sure that it doesn't contain vegetable oils. Vegetables, sunflower, safflower, canola, those are highly inflammatory oils and they're snuck in everything. So I'm going to list a few things that you can find these vegetable oils in. Yogurt, what? Granola, what? And then even sports bars as well. And then when you go out to eat at restaurants, most of them are deep frying their foods in vegetable oils or canola oils. So if you want to reduce the amount of vegetable oil you consume, you can cook with the options that we have provided here. So, and another interesting point that I want to make is that all of our oils that are available to us, it adds flavors to our food, right? Fats are for flavors. But they all have a smoking point. A smoking point is how high you can cook that oil to before it becomes rancid. So that means you're changing the chemical biology of it, and now it's not necessarily as good or healthy for you because you changed the structure of it. So for example, what is this? This is extra virgin olive oil, super healthy. The smoking point of this is 325 to 375. And then later for avocado, it's 375 to 400. So if you're baking something or cooking something at those temperature levels, make sure you look that up, and it's as easy as Google. So check on Google smoking points of different oils. So for today, Lerone, what temperature did you use for the air fryer?
I'm using 375 to 385, kind of changing it up depending on the vegetable, kind of seeing how it works. I did the potatoes at 375 and felt like it needed maybe a little more heat, so I added a little bit of, I did 385 for the sweet potatoes, so you can kind of play around with it. I just want to point out though that when you're getting avocado oil, and it will say the top, it'll say avocado oil, but it's only like 25% avocado oil, and they mix it in with either canola oil or olive oil or something else. So the fact that it's cheap doesn't mean you found a bargain. You really need to make sure it says it's pure 100% avocado oil. It's really important.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Okay, keep your eye out for that. So, and then also, so since she used the temperature was 375 to 385, and we said that the maximum for extra virgin olive oil is 375, we actually went for the pure olive oil today. So the cooking point for this, the smoking point for this is 375 to 405. So there's a little bit more room for you to cook at higher temperatures, what we did today. So if you're struggling with weight loss and you're noticing that you're getting hungry all the time and there's this underlying inflammatory in your joints and just you feel bloated, watch those food labels and everything that you purchase down to the milks that you buy, the yogurts that you buy, and make sure that there's no vegetable oils in it. That's the starting point. And then when you prepare food at home, like French fries, instead of buying it at these superfood places, this is a great way to do it. And then also we wanted to show you guys how to make vegan cheese. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. I have the pot heated. I hope it's not too hot right now. But, ooh, it is. I'm going to pour some coconut milk in this, and that's about 3/4 of a cup. Okay, and you want to get this to a boil. And then we have a little bit of all of our different other ingredients. So I have 3 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. This is high in B12, and it gives this cheese flavor to our item right here. And then I'm adding tapioca flour. There is 2 tablespoons of that, half a teaspoon of sea salt, and then half a teaspoon of onion powder and garlic powder. Ooh, it smells good already. And then if you like a little spice, I'm adding some smoked paprika, just a little bit. You can add some more because I'm not too sure if everybody here loves that. And then all you're going to do is mix this content until it gets to the consistency that you enjoy. So for cheese, I like mine thick. So if it becomes too thick, all you're going to do is just keep adding more coconut milk to it until it gets to the consistency that you enjoy. Alrighty, so.
Alright, so we have the taro that's in the air fryer still. The air fryer told me to turn it, so I just opened it, gave it a little shake just to turn them around a little bit. But I'm going to show you. So we already have in the oven, I kept them warm. We have both our regular potato fries and the sweet potato fries. I'm going to grab those. Alright, so we have here a little bit of potato fries. These are the russet potatoes. And sweet potato fries. It's hot. Alright, so I kept them in the oven at about 250 degrees. So since you really only want to do single layer in the air fryer, we are going to keep them warm in the oven as we're doing the different batches. So it is going to take a little while to make them because each batch takes about 15 minutes to make. And then in addition to you being able to, limit the amount of oil that you're using for this, you can also limit the amount of salt that you're using for it. So you're in charge of how much salt and sodium you're putting into it. So I just drizzled a little bit, I sprinkled a little bit of salt on top, and that's it. Obviously, if you want it saltier, you can add more. I actually use this Fleur de Sel, which is a little bit of the fancy French salt. It's a little flakier inside than regular salt. So I use that. And then in addition, because here we're using it and dipping in the cheese, so I don't want to add too much to it because, there's some sodium in that already. You have more flavors there. You can keep the fries a little more bland than usual. All right, so we have our taste testers, although this is a little hot still. And I saw Mark kind of got a piece of the regular French fries earlier. So we have your regular French fries, we have the sweet potato fries, and our vegan cheese sticks.
Let's give it a try. I'm going to take one too. Look at the thickness of this cheese. Mark, don't burn yourself.
Mm.
Mm. It tastes like cheese. The texture is just like cheese. I do taste like the coconut flavors underneath. So if you're not a coconut person, just use any non-dairy milk that you like. The thicker and the more fat the milk is, the better the texture and the flavor for the vegan cheese.
Now, one other point which I forgot, which is one of the most important points. When making these French fries, you know, both potatoes, the taro, and even the sweet potatoes, they have a lot of starch in them. And it's important to soak them in water before you fry them. You really want to get all of that out. It'll help make it more crispy. So after you cut it, you want to soak it in cold water for about an hour, and then you want to pat it dry before you put it in the air fryer. So you see, it's so delicious and so much healthier. Like really, it's so easy and so much better than going to your fast food restaurant. So remember, you want to cut it up, soak it in cold water for an hour, and then pat it dry. Layer it out, and that's why I have it here, like on trays. We have it lined with the paper towels. You want to get all that moisture out while you're working on the other batches. All right, so you've tried the regular potatoes. You need to try the sweet potatoes and the taro. You know what? It has about another couple of minutes, but I'll pull out a few pieces for you to try, and you need to tell us which one you like the best. This is going to be like super hot still.
Oh, shake it, shake it. I don't know. I'm not that risky where I want to burn myself with some fries right now. What do you think, Mark? Sweet potato?
It's all delicious.
Ooh.
All right, here we go.
I'll try the sweet potato.
Cheese.
I like the sweet potato with the vegan cheese.
Mm-hmm.
It complements each other really well.
Great combo.
What about the taro? How was that?
Not
I haven't tried it yet.
I did try it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it was good.
All right.
Careful.
It's not done cooking, but we already knew that.
A few
I like the
minutes.
texture of the taro. I love the flavor of the sweet potato. And then the russets are just, they're crispy. They're nice. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to ask if there's anything else, if anyone had any questions for us. All
I
right.
have another helpful tip. So smoking points was one of them. So making sure that you're cooking with the right oils for whatever dish that you're preparing would take your health to another level. And then another one would be using the air fryer so you're not deep frying all these foods that you enjoy. I know in my culture we enjoy egg rolls, and my mom tends to fry that in vegetable oil. So how can we do that without using vegetable oil? And then later, carbohydrates in general. Let's talk about when to have them. The best time to actually have carbohydrates in the form of sweet potatoes or even fruits or anything like that is at the end of the day. So your body actually runs off of things called cortisol and blood sugar levels throughout the day. And at the end of the night, by your activity, your job, or whatever you have done, you had depleted all of those glucose levels, and hopefully you had used fat as fuel to fuel your activities throughout the day, whatever it is. And then at nighttime, it's time to replenish just a little bit. So if you're curious to when to have your carbohydrates, and you're noticing that like having even oatmeal early in the morning or bananas and all these carb-dense food in the mornings making you sleepy around noontime, try switching around so that your blood sugar levels are more regulated and stable throughout the day. Alrighty, this is Fit in the Kitchen series. Hopefully we gave you some helpful tips to stay fit and in the kitchen.